Listening to 1430 KCLK, The Ticket, Boise Sports Station. Now for the Daily Wrap-Up Show, here's your host, Joey Lothrop. Hello and welcome to the Daily Wrap-Up Show with yours truly, Joey Lothrop. A lot going on in the sports world today, much of it having to do with basketball. We have three main stories for you today. First of all, we'll talk about the Boise State men's basketball team being ousted in the first round of the NCAA basketball tournament by the LaSalle Explorers. Next, we'll have ESPN's Dick Vitale in to talk about March Madness. And finally, we will bring in Chris Berman to discuss the NFL's new helmet rule. And the polls are open. Send a text to 467-KCLK to tell me which story you would like me to share my personal opinion about at the end of this show. Once again, that number is 467-KCLK. We'll be right back after these short messages. Having trouble finding the car you want? Can't find one priced perfectly for you? Time to head down to Big Bob's Car Emporium. We have everything you want. Chevy, Ford, GMC, Toyota, Dodge, Honda, Suzuki, and Hummer. How about a 2009 Chevy Impala for the low price of $15,973? No? How about a 2010 GMC Yukon? Only $20,000. Got a car you want to get off your hands? We'll buy it. Want to trade your car for another one? We can do that. You may ask yourself, how in the world can Big Bob get us deals like this? That answer is simple, because Big Bob loves Boise, Idaho, and making hometown deals. Big Bob is located on Overland and Maple Grove, right next to Brown Mackie College. Big Bob's Car Emporium, your hometown car dealership. And we're back. When we left for the break, we were talking about the Boise State men's basketball team being ousted in the first round of the tournament by the LaSalle Explorers. The fact is, it was just not Boise State's day. The Explorers shot an amazing 63% from the field, along with 72.7% in the second half alone. Yet somehow, the Broncos found themselves within striking distance of their first ever win in the NCAA tournament. The Broncos cut a 14-point deficit with 5 minutes and 20 seconds to play, down to a 6-minute with 1:18 to play, and sent forward Kenny Buckner to the free throw line for a 1-and-1. He missed the first, and the Broncos never got close again. The Broncos had an amazing season, and I can't wait to see them back next year, but they really had a chance to win this game. It was amazing with how well that the LaSalle Explorers were playing offensively that the Broncos had a chance, but somehow they were able to have that chance, but they could not make the best of it. Kenny Buckner missing those free throws was absolutely vital and probably lost them the game. But as I said, the Broncos had an amazing season. I can't wait to see them next year. Boise State isn't losing hardly any players and should be able to have better their performance from this year. They're also gaining a 6'10" center out of Boise named Joey Nebeker, who will be very helpful to the Broncos' inside game, which they did not have very well at all this year, which could propel them to possibly having their first NCAA tournament win next year. Now we move on to our second story, which is March Madness tournament that starts this week, and we will have many thrilling games. Here to comment is ESPN's Dick Vitale. It's awesome, baby. It's flat out awesome. They don't call it the greatest time of the year for nothing. My prediction is that Duke is going to win this one. They don't call me Dookie V for nothing. They'll have to get by Louisville, and I see no problem with that. They got a couple diaper dandies in Mason Plumlee and Seth Curry. This team could be unstoppable. Louisville's a great team, but they just can't match up to Duke. They call me Dookie V, and that's why. Duke is the best team this year, and they will unquestionably win this tournament. Wow, thanks, Dick. Now on to our final story of the day, which is the NFL's new helmet rules. Team owners passed a player safety rule Wednesday, barring ball carriers from using the crown of their helmet to make forcible contact with a defender in the open field. And according to the new rules, it must be done beginning this season. The second significant player safety rule passed this week to help protect defensive players came with much debate. Several coaches and team executives expressed concern about officiating the new rule, but Commissioner Robert Goodell championed it, and it passed 13-1, as the Cincinnati Bengals were the only no vote. Here to comment, we bring in ESPN's Chris Berman. Well, Joey, I don't like this. Can't see much more rumbling, bumbling, tumbling, and stumbling as they can't use their head to take out a defender. Personally, I just don't like it, Joey. The reason that Cincinnati wouldn't pass the vote is because there really is no way about officiating it. How can you really tell whether someone's leading with their head? When you run, you have to lead with your head. That's how you run. I don't understand how they're going to enforce this. It'll be very interesting to see what they can do. But still, very shocking to me that they passed it with a 31-1 ratio. Wow, thanks, Chris. And the results are in. You want me to share my personal opinion about March Madness and who I believe will win. Well, the March Madness bracket this year there really doesn't seem to be a clear favorite, but the two teams that I've been sticking with throughout all the brackets that I've made are the Louisville Cardinals and the Miami Hurricanes, who I have meeting in the championship game. I have Louisville beating Miami by a score of 78 to 72. I also have Gonzaga and Florida in the rest of my Final Four. I've predicted many upsets. I have Florida beating Gonzaga. I also had Minnesota beating UCLA in the first round. I even had UNLV in the Sweet 16. I also had Davidson in the Sweet 16, which would be highly unexpected. Gonzaga looks like they may not be a good enough team, but I believe that they will be able to pull it out and make it to the Final Four. But once again, my prediction is that Louisville will win the national championship. And with that, I'm Joey Lothrop, signing off. Thanks for listening to the Daily Wrap-Up Show on 1430 KCLK, The Ticket, Boise's sports station. Tune in tomorrow night for another edition of the Daily Wrap-Up Show.